Hi everybody, this is Palace of Forest. I'm Old Joan. Today we are talking about a country, the Pearl of Black Sea, Georgia. Today watch the news talking about Georgia wanting to join the European Union and the NATO, NATO again. What's going on? Western countries are indeed indefinitely attractive. The reality of Ukraine, national collapse and destruction is not yet finished, and there are successors one by one. Is it crazy? The former Soviet Russians, subordinate countries, are crazy about to join the NATO, NATO, and European Union. I went to Georgia several times in 2006 and 2007. The plane was very crowded with many Americans. I wonder why Georgia is not a tourist attraction. Why is it so crowded? Most of the American passengers were men in their 30s or 40s. I asked them they were traveling in Georgia for sightseeing. They looked at each other and said, we're here to study. Student, I thought you were a little bit too old for that, but I didn't say anything. Later, I realized that those guys were probably all CIA agents. Georgia is on the coast of Black Sea. The climate is mild, and it considers itself a place of milk and honey. According to legend, in ancient time, God created the earth to be distributed to the people, and Georgians' ancestors got drunk and arrived late for the party. When they arrived, God said that all land has been distributed, and Georgians' ancestors said, well, we drank too much to thank God for the great blessings and kindness. So God said, well, then I will give you one of my own places, and that's Georgia. The God's back garden. The capital is Tbilisi, with many churches, one or two on every street. Georgians are devoted to Orthodox Christians and always cross their chest when passing by a church. My manager crossed his chest endlessly as soon as he got into the car. It exhausted me. Here is one of the three small countries in the Caucasus, next to Armenia and Azerbaijan. Armenia is also Orthodox, while Azerbaijan is Islamic. Last year, Armenia and Azerbaijan fought over an identified territory. Azerbaijan used drums, and Armenia lost the battle without drums. Anyway, these three small countries sometimes have disputes. Azerbaijan has oil, and Baku is the oil export port. The oil pipeline goes through Georgia, so it is a good fortune just lying down and making money. However, Georgia still relies on agriculture, and its industries are just beginning. GDP per capita is just over US $6,000 a year, which is very, very low. And only half of the average GDP per capita in Eastern Europe. There are 11,800. People's lives are very peaceful and quiet. Do you know? Joseph Stalin, the big boss of Russia, was Georgian. I traveled on their only east-west highway several times, passing through Stalin's hometown, Gori. One day, I asked the driver, stopped at Gori. I visited the memorial site of Stalin. It is a very small and simple place, and strange enough is an old train parked at the yard. I asked the local how they feel about Stalin. They said, a tyrant like him did not treat Georgians any better. Georgia sincerely wants to join the Western international community. Georgia now is like a small medieval standard Orthodox country. The people are simple and devoted to American. They give the green light to everything for Americans. Let's talk about the Georgians' food. Georgian dumplings are made of beef called khinkali, similar to Chinese dumplings. But there's a small flour lump on the top of the dumpling, and that should not be eaten. We have a Georgian food while traveling on their east-west highway. All farm dishes, but are incredibly delicious because they are all homegrown. Even the chicken are raised at home. Unlike American chickens, have no taste. My broker has a round face, and I later found out that Mongolia once conquered the Caucasus region and left some descendants. My broker has Mongolian ancestries. His family is near the Black Sea in Botany, which is a very beautiful place and with beautiful sceneries. I took the time to visit Royal Vadizia, a military fortress built in caves in the 12th century. It can accommodate 50,000 people. Later, it was passed to a Queen Tamar, but it was invaded by Mongolian soldiers and fell. There are still monks there now. In 2008, President Mikhail Saakashvili, who studied in the United States, returned home and was elected as the youngest president, only 36 years old, with a high vote because he was too close to the United States, and there were sovereignty disputes over South Ossetia and Abkhazia, because Russian citizens in these two regions were mistreated. Putin's excuse seems very similar. Well, in April 2008, Putin sent troops to attack Georgia and divide Georgia into two. The port of Poti is a major port in Caucasus, prosperous with commerce. It was also blockaded. Maersk Line, an American-Danish shipping company, the port was full of Maersk Line's containers. Well, I happen to have more than 20 containers waiting for the ship at the dock. Now, it really has no choice but waiting. The U.S. Sixth Fleet immediately sailed into the Black Sea to confront the Russians' Black Sea Fleet. In anxious waiting, the Americans and the Russians negotiated, and the Maersk Line ship were allowed to pass through under the close watching by the both navies side by side in August. After this incident, I never did business with a Georgian again. But it is a nice, quiet, peace country. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.